I think we are good to go. Maybe it will take another minute or so. Set up your meeting. Right. Maybe we can get started. Yeah. Yeah, today is Friday, 11 March 2022, and we are in Plus API quarter for IBMCloud. Yeah, so there are a couple of, I'll keep it short, maybe. Yeah, I have one good news is that, we released 0.2 version yesterday. Can see here, the new release on the release section of IBMCloud. So this is out. And then I also kind of posted the announcement in Slack channel as well. So just share that function as well. Yeah. So I did that, and then I just did it in like around 10 o'clock ST, and then I also posted some sort of a testing how it looks like. I mean, we don't need to pass the version alpha version anymore, so it just pulls 0.2 latest version. So when we deploy wireless to safely element, right? So that's how it is. And things looks to be fine. Yeah, so that's one good news. And then yeah, with respect to the features, what we delivered, right? So maybe I'll just quickly spend 2 minutes or so on this. The feature what we delivered is the watch namespace. So what really it means is that you can limit the events for the namespace itself. Let's say you don't want to monitor all the machines, and then the of course the IBMCloud for VS or VPC machines, not on all the namespace. You can say that on what namespace you can really want to monitor, right? So this will give you an option of running multiple cluster APIs controller on a single machine if you want to. So yeah, so that's the feature about this. And then of course the next one is like adopting V1 Beta 1 by project. And the of course the webhook also we kind of introduced into our project. So this is mainly for validating and then maybe defaulting certain values. Right, so that's what the feature is, and then we also added the health support. So this is mainly meant for adding health check and readiness of the controllers. So this will be really useful when in the production sort of environment where if your controllers stop responding, right? I mean, there's no way that if your Kubernetes really knows what's really going on there. So with these options, now the deployment, whatever we deploy, right, so it keeps on checking the health, and if it's not responding, then it restarts the pod itself, right? So that way it is really good for the production sort of environment, right? And then of course, like we have added E2E framework in this release, thanks to Amuna for that. And then we did some code conversion also, like Alpha 3 to and some handling, and then the book is also like published for PTC resources. And then we added additional conditions for the progress to design the progress of the machine deployment. So that's needed for where our machines really like the progress of the machine deployment. And then we also added sync period parameters for for supplying user defined sync period for reconcile loops. So we were defaulted to some very minimal time. That is to flood a lot of requests to cloud API, which is not really good. So we kind of defaulted to whatever, I think 10 minutes also is the default value. And then we also now exposing this particular parameter as a flag if someone wants to override, so they can just do it using the flag. And then another big feature what we added in this release is that IBM Power VS image. This is mainly for importing Power VS images for machines. Is done by Brio. Thanks for that. And then we also kind of integrated that with machine specs. So that's the complete story of use deploying, I mean, using images, importing images, and use the same image in the machine spec as well. Right? And then we are also added delete policy for the obvious image. If yeah, this is purely for the development purpose where like we are if you want to avoid deleting the backend image, right? So this is the option. Okay, it's very handy for testing purpose. And then yes, the last one is for adding provider ID format. I mean, like we all know that the the current provider ID, provider ID may not be really suitable for when we have CCM and other components also will not be benefited much from the current provider ID. So that's the reason we thought of refactoring it and then added a different provider ID altogether, right? So and then we are giving an option in the main program itself, like what provider ID we want to use or what provider ID format, right? So if you see here, so this is the older one, and okay, sorry, this is the older one, and this is the newer one, right? So I think this contains like a region, zone, and the instance, as in the service instance ID and the machine instance ID, right? So that way you can just use this provider anywhere you want. So that's the features we introduced, and also we have a flag saying like what provider ID format we want to use, right? So the V1 is the older one, and then V2 is the newer one. But right now we are defaulting to V1 if I'm not wrong. So yeah, so in future we will slowly shift to V2 once we have all CCM integration and everything, right? So that's for the future plan. Yeah, so that's about the high level features what we deployed, and then of course there are plenty of commits went in. I have not mentioned those things because they're all there in the alpha release notes only. But yeah, this is mainly for the new features what we really kind of pushed into up to. So any questions or anyone wants to add anything? Okay. Yeah, so that's some of features, and then of course we can go to backlog. But before that, I just want to spend quickly few time, some time looking at the pull request we merged in last 15 days. Right? Yes, yes, for that, for sure. March. When was our last meeting? February 25th, right? Post February 25th. Yeah, so post February 25th, yeah, I mean, of course, we just migrated to, I mean, like started using the latest Power client. That's one minor thing, and then add unit test for Power VS, and this is basically, Amulya, you want to maybe quickly say a few lines about it?
Yeah, sure. So basically, we are using GoMock for mocking the Power client, and so it we create these dummy specs for all the objects like machine cluster, Power cluster. Not much, but just giving them the bare minimum requirements of whatever they should have, and so every we like decided we have worked on some test cases where we just if you could just scroll down to one of the test case, I can show them more. Yeah,
This
so
one?
yeah, anything is fine. So basically here we would be using the mock instance, and then we will be mocking the calls which the actual function is calling. Like for example, here we're calling create machine. So create machine would include few calls such as get in all instance and create instance, which would be called by the PowerVS client. So that we are mocking, and we will also be mentioning the expected results so that it matches the test case. Yeah. So similarly, all the test cases are handled in the
Okay.
same. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is mainly for, as Mola mentioned, right? So this is mainly for like having some mock, API request and response, and then just check some of the tests, right? I mean, this will, of course, in this, I think she is testing the scope, of course, all that create machine, delete machine, all that, right? So, yep, that's the intention. And then going forward, we are uh, she's also focusing on like the understanding the coverage of the test what we are running at the moment, and then of course in the future plan we're going to have more strict checks in the PR also, where it really maybe we will see like based on how it goes, but definitely we want to see in the PR run that what's the coverage of the unit test overall, right? So that we should do. Yeah, that's one thing. And then, of course, there's another set of unit tests she's written for this image. There's this minor bug I have fixed. So this is mainly for avoiding or trimming the white space is written by one of the Power VS API. So what is to happen is that the internal IP address what we get in via Power VS that in the DHCP server type of network. So we used to get like empty space because that API usually returns empty space as in the space character. So I have added a code to kind of trim that space if it exists, right? So that way we don't really kind of publish that field itself. So this is a very simple fix what we made. This we already talked about. And these are few cosmetic changes to the readmes. And then maybe I can just show you. The one change I have made is for the main readme itself, where I have just removed 1.0 because we'll be supporting 1.2 or whatever, right? On 0.2. So that's what it is. We'll keep updating that. So once we get a major release for Cappy, maybe we can that time we can just update that one in to that version. But so far it is like 1.x. Then also added Kubernetes support matrix. So the older matrix was little stale, is what I felt, and then they have a detailed document about what a Kubernetes API, a Kubernetes version can be used with what Cappy and all, right? So that I have pointed here. So this is the document published by Cappy, core Cappy repository itself, right? So you can take a look at case if you're interested, like what version and what Kubernetes version. And another change I made is for images. Under images section, now we can see that the what images you can use it for the Cappy project. So of course the VPC thing haven't added. So expecting someone will add that information. And then Power BS we have added just added one entry there as of now, but this whole bucket needs to be updated going forward. So at the moment I have this image image builder repository code in my local repository. So once I kind of push that to that image builder repository, I'll also post the instruction how to build these images and all. But right now, there's only one image which is bold, of course. So we also need to work on getting the newer images created and then outputted into this table, right? So that's something that work, right? Yeah, that's about the fixes so far. And then of course, like there's this one PR YAML is for pumping the version to 113 for the cluster API. Yep. So far so good. And another quick bit. Just monitoring this brow bills. Okay, so yeah, something really wrong today morning from mornings. But uh, maybe we will just focus on. Not sure. Is this job periodic? Yeah, this is the job what we're running in our brow. Yeah, of course, there are recent builds got it's failing. I'm not sure why. But Amelia, one thing I noticed is that past couple of days it is really going well. I'm not sure
Yeah,
what really
I've
was the.
seen that. And the failure also, one was because of Bosco's and the other one was also not related to the timeout. So I can say like 1.5 days run were going pretty good.
Yeah, even I'm not sure what what really happened.
So do you think like
uh,
once we migrate to the upstream one, like these could be the timeout could be resolved or like because I
Maybe
think yeah.
possible.
Then I think I started looking into the so regarding the Pro credential, I mean the credentials to be stored in upstream Pro. I posted a message on SIG testing, but I didn't get any reply. It was last week, so I started exploring how to actually manage the secrets. So I found a couple of preferences. I think IBM Cloud Secret. One was for IBM Cloud was IBM Cloud Secret Manager in a documentation I found. I'm not sure like to which extent that can I mean if it is the right way to use it. So I just started looking because I was in an intention that having this onboard upstream would maybe resolve a couple of issues. So to fast track that, the
Maybe
perception
possible.
of
Yeah,
working. Yeah.
not sure. But may resolve. But I would say like maybe you can talk to someone who is managing the AWS credentials, right? Someone would have pushed the AWS credentials. Maybe it is good to ping that person
Okay.
and see like if you get some information there, like because yeah, yeah, we'll work on that. I think maybe the next release definitely we should fix, or we
Yeah.
should have something the PR testing, right? So that will
Yeah.
give
Yes.
us more
Yes.
confidence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so can you folks hear me properly? Because it says network issue with my connection, whatever. Is it clear or you hear
I
any
can.
issues?
Yeah. I can see the screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's about how it is this UI. And then coming to backlog, yes, we do have a lot of back like a lot of issues. So yeah, maybe yeah, yeah. I think a lot of these issues not doesn't contain this priority. I think we'll fix those priority tags for these issues, as in whatever issues we have created, and then we'll maybe come back and then discuss more on this. Right? I don't want to do that priority setting in this call. Can do that later also. And then of course there are a lot of features that feel free to pick any of these if you have some bandwidth. So I think we should start looking at the next release for sure, right? So yeah, let's start working on it. I have plenty of at least 10 features I see. Right. There it goes. But any questions or anything else you guys want to discuss? And that's what I want to discuss today. Yeah, so one other comment I want to ask is like, is this time works for you folks, or again like I mean we um or can we just reschedule or whatever?
Actually, it works for me, Manju. No problem.
Yeah,
Amelia,
same. I'm okay with that, Manju.
Yeah, Manju, I'm okay with that. Just that we missed it last week, so I just couldn't remember.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, I think maybe I'm not sure. Yeah, we'll have to see how we can
If the
make this
pattern is
calendar
going
settled.
like, yeah, if the pattern is going, we can probably have it bi-weekly itself.
Oh yeah. That's a good
Yeah,
point. That's a good point, right?
yeah,
I think yeah, I hardly find anything for a weekly meeting. I think maybe we should start.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I mean when most of these CAPI projects are like bi-weekly, and then initially I thought like we'll have more discussions, so that's the reason I just we kept it weekly. But I think we can just go it bi-weekly. That makes sense. All right. So anything else before we go? All right. Thanks, folks. Have a nice day, and then we can. Bye bye.